everyone and Assalamu alaikum. Ramadan Mubarak. Now we're coming to nearly the second week of Ramadan, so I'm making nice and easy recipes for you. And today we're making a homemade pizza, vegetarian pizza. And here are the ingredients. We've got plain flour. I'm going to use 2 cups of that, 2 teaspoons of instant yeast, half a bowl of sweet corn, 3 mushrooms cut into small pieces, 1 pepper, that's half a yellow one and half red, just cut into small pieces, just a few black olives. You can use green ones if you want to, and just half an onion. With the vegetarian, it's your option what you would like on the topping, but I just wanted peppers, mushrooms and sweet corns today. So I'm going to make the sauce as well at home because I thought it's so nice and easy instead of buying a jar pizza sauce. So I've got chopped tomatoes, tomato puree and some oregano. I'm just putting a spoon of sugar into just warm water. So we're going to activate the yeast first. It has to be warm water, not too cold or hot, just like medium warm water, then the yeast will be okay. So this is 2 teaspoons of yeast. So we're just going to set that aside for 5 minutes, and I'm going to cover it with a plate, and we'll know when if the yeast is fermented when it's got little bubbles on top. So I'm just starting off with the pizza sauce, and in here is just 1 light slice of onion, say about 1/4 of onion, and 1 clove of garlic, because it's just to enhance the flavour in the sauce. And I've just put 1 tablespoon of oil, so we're just frying this. Then I'm going to put the chopped tomatoes and tomato puree. I just thought it would be a nicer taste if you make homemade pizza sauce, and it's so easy to make. So everybody has onion and garlic at home anyway, and chopped tomatoes. So once the garlic is cooked a bit, I'm just putting the chopped tomatoes. So I've just put the chopped tomatoes in. You need about 1 spoon of tomato puree to make it a bit tangier. That's a spoon of tomato puree. And a teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of sugar is going to go in that as well. I'm putting a teaspoon of salt in first. And 1 teaspoon of sugar. And a teaspoon of oregano. You can use mixed herbs as well if you haven't got oregano. That's just a nice smell in the sauce. So I'm just going to cook this for a few minutes so the tomatoes go soft. That's all, that's your sauce done. If it goes a bit thick, you can add a bit of water or a bit of tomato ketchup. But it's looking fine yet. I don't think it's dry up. Put it on a low heat so it doesn't dry up. Just adding half a teaspoon of chili powder, bisal. You don't have to if you don't want to. I just want a bit of a spicy taste to the sauce. But you can leave it if you just want normal, just tomato flavour and not chili in it. So I've shut the flame. Sorry, I've shut the flame now. The tomatoes are all soft and the sauce is looking cooked. So we're putting this aside and getting on with our dough now. So I'm putting 2 full cups of plain flour in a large bowl. This recipe for 2 cups is like for 1 large pizza, about 13 inch. So this is just for 1 pizza base. So in that goes half a teaspoon of salt. I'm just making like a space in the middle where I'm going to put the yeast in. It's all bubbled up now. So first we don't need to put any water in yet. I'm just going to mix the yeast in properly and then see how much water it needs. So this is how the dough should start looking like once you put the yeast in. It's still soft, but it needs more water to bind it together. So I'm just going to add a little bit more water and then use my hands to mix it well, and then we'll knead it in a bit. It has to be like soft, not too hard, or then the pizza won't like spread if you make the dough too hard. So it has to be like a soft dough. So I think I used about half a cup of more water, and that seems right now. So when it goes like this at this stage, I'm just going to leave it for a bit so it can rise, and then later we're going to knead it then. So I'm going to leave this like in a bowl, in the same bowl, and add a bit of oil on top and just cover it. And you need to leave it for about at least an hour, 60 minutes, and then it will double in size. And you have to leave it in the kitchen in a warm place, not in the fridge. So I've just made it into like a bowl, a round, and just put some oil on top. And I'm going to cover it now with some thing and leave it on the side. I'm just taking the plate off to see the dough now. It's been more than an hour, about 80 minutes. And you can see it's doubled in size. Now I'm just going to take it out and dust some flour and knead it and shape it into the pizza then. Just dust the surface with a bit of flour, and I'm just going to knead it for a bit, and then it won't need much, just about 3 or 4 times. Just need to So when you knead the dough, the technique is you just pull and stretch with your hands so it can come into shape. There's no need to do it too much times, just about 5 or 6 times, and you can see it's already come into a nice shape. So you can shape the dough with your hands as well, or use the rolling pin as well. Because I'm making a large one, I think it's a bit easier if I use a rolling pin. So this is going to be like a, not too thick or thin, but say a thick crust pizza. I'm just putting it on the tray now. I've just lightly oiled the tray. I'm just going to spread the tomato sauce on first, the pizza sauce that we made. Get it nicely to the edges. Right. So I'm going to first start off with the cheese, and this is mainly mature grated cheddar, but I've just put a handful of mozzarella in it as well. So just put it all around. I'm just using half of the cheese yet because we're going to use the rest on to put after the vegetables have gone on. So you put half at the bottom and half afterwards. So you can start off however you like, what you want to put on first. I'll do the peppers first. So it's a nice fun time decorating your pizza. You can use as many vegetables as you want, like I told before, but I'm just using pepper, sweet corn and mushrooms and a bit of olives today. So next I'm putting the onions and olives. Just put the olives a bit neatly because they go a bit upside down and stick. So mushrooms and sweet corn left. I cut like 3 or 4 mushrooms in half a bowl, but I don't think I'm going to use all of them. So probably about 2 mushrooms you need. Now the sweet corn. Right. I'm just going to put the oven on now, and then it's going to go in the oven for 30 minutes. But keep checking on it after about 15-20 minutes. This size pizza will definitely cook in 30 minutes. I'm just putting the rest of the cheese. I'm putting the pizza in the oven now, so I'll show you when it's done in a bit. Pizza out of the oven after 30 minutes. It looks done. So I'm going to cut a slice out and see that if it's baked okay. I've just cut the slice out and it looks really lovely. So try this recipe out and enjoy this lovely pizza with your family. No need to go Domino's or Pizza Hut. Homemade vegetarian pizza.